So, you're getting into the gym. Well, I just want to congratulate you because you're going into the most fun, most growth-filled environment you can. And I know it must seem like so daunting, and you might have a couple insecurities about the fact that you're so skinny, or just feeling anxious or scared in a new environment. But I promise you, the path you're going down is amazing, and it's going to be filled with challenges, and you're going to want to give up at times, but just stick it through and you'll see the progress that you make, and you'll just look back and thank yourself in the past for making that amazing decision to just start. My name is Darren, and I help men go from skinny to building their dream physique. I think it's best to start with a story of mine. So I was always insecure about being skinny. I was always the skinniest and smallest kid in the group. To avoid the cliche, unfortunately that was the reality. But I just really, I always felt insecure about being so skinny, and I was a very sporty person, but I would still stay super, super skinny. And no matter how much I ate, no matter how much I trained, it just didn't help until I realized it comes with time. You're going to grow into yourself. You're going to get bigger as you get older. You just have to let your body take its course. And you've got to do the right things, eat well, sleep well, gym well, and just keep your fitness up. And eventually you will see those results if you continue to put in the hard work. Let's start with, honestly, the most important part, nutrition. So how are we actually going to get this physique? Well, we obviously have to be in a calorie surplus to gain muscle. So how are we going to do that? Sure, we can do it the long way with the MyFitnessPal tracking and like tracking every calorie in that. And that's great if you're willing to do that. But for those who are honest with themselves and they're like, you know what, I'll do that for a bit, but then I'm going to quit. The easiest way possible is when you're having dinner, just add a little bit more. So instead of 1 cup of rice, you have 2 cups of rice, or just add a little bit more calories slowly but surely, and eventually we'll start getting into that calorie surplus. So we have to do micro changes in our diet. So that comes with even eating healthier. So let's say you're drinking soda every single day. Instead of soda, maybe switch to sparkling water, which is something I did, and it's really changed everything. You're getting a lot less sugar. It's a lot less excess calories that you don't want, and just the training and everything just improved from that small little change. So it's small incremental changes we're going to make in the diet, because it makes no sense to just jump into some very strict diet that you know you're just going to quit, because you're going from zero to the destination where we're going to be, which is not going to work. It takes time. It's slow changes. So let's discuss the training. We are not going to go from nothing to training 5 times a week on our track to being the Mr. Olympia. Unfortunately, that is just not how this is going to work. And I want you to keep this in mind. Any progress in the gym is major progress. Everything you do now really compounds because you're just starting. And we need to first get into the routine of going to gym regularly. So if you go into gym and you only do 1 set of bench, cool, that's progress. I mean, a week before, we were doing nothing. So it is improvement, and you've got to celebrate every single win you get. And as long as you keep that consistency, that is all that matters. So I'm going to start you off with a full body workout, which we're going to train 3 times per week, which you can get, first link in the description, completely free. So we're going to start with that full body workout. And from that full body workout, I want us to focus on the technique of the exercises. Rather than getting as much weight on the bar, and that'll come later. We need to focus on technique first. From there, we can get into the weight. And working this way will ensure that we don't get early injuries that will keep us out of training. That is the worst thing that can happen now. You getting into this. So we need to build that routine. So let's talk about the first day in the gym. There's obviously going to be some nerves because we're going into a new place and there's a fear that we might get judged. One thing I really want to put into your mind is that the gym is actually one of the nicest, most friendly, most welcoming places you can really be. And there's nothing to stress about. Because those people that are there with you were beginners once as well, and they understand. And feel free to ask someone for some advice on a certain exercise, and they'll probably be more than willing to help you out. So there is literally no fear going into the gym. It's going to be a new experience. So there might be a bit of nerves and a fear of being judged in that. But really, the gym is honestly, in general, such a welcoming place. Like you get your couple bad people. Unfortunately, that is just life. But there are really amazing people at the gym who are just trying to grow as you are. Okay, this is one that is very, very, very undervalued, and that's recovery. We've got to make sure that our sleep is on point. And an easy way to do that tonight is just simply setting a time you want to go to bed and a time you want to wake up, and do that every single day. Because if we don't have our recovery, we're going to feel dead the next training session. And that's just going to keep us out of training, and it's going to get us into a bad loop where we're going to start skipping sessions, and it's going to become a regular thing where we skip sessions. And please don't skip leg day. That's all I ask. All right, this is my favorite tip, and is honestly going to be the thing that will keep you in this for as long as possible. And that is, take regular progress pictures. So take a picture of you shirtless when you first get into the gym. Take a picture of you at the 3-month mark, and just keep regularly taking photos, because you are going to be able to look back and see all the progress that you've made. And that's just going to motivate you to keep going, keep pushing.